Hi guys, in this video I want to chat about something you need to look out for when you browse cars at We Buy Cars, and specifically if you want to buy a car without going to inspect it, which you shouldn't do. But sometimes there's an auction like today on this Mercedes, and I found a very big problem here, and it's very misleading, and this is just totally wrong and inaccurate or misleading marketing. Now, whenever I see a W123 series Merc, I always pay attention. And this one looks amazing. It's a 1983 Mercedes-Benz W123 sedan. That's exactly what this is. 230e automatic AC. AC means aircon. So this is the one you want. 230e automatic. And you can see here they go for silly amounts. This is a 230e. It's got a lot less kilometers, but it goes for 135,000. That's on the Mercedes-Benz Classic Group. And I often see 230Es these days that's in good condition like this go for more than 100,000. So this one is on auction today for 31,000. If I didn't just buy the smart card to see if I can get it going, I would have probably bid on this and went all the way to Joburg to fetch it. But the other problem is my wife also hates these old Mercedeses. This is my favorite car of all the cars ever. I've owned two of them. Now, what is the problem with this one? Let's have a look. 1983 Mercedes-Benz W123 Auto. It's a 230e. That's the manual fuel inject or the mechanical fuel injected 230e Auto AC. So the very first thing that I noticed when I browsed through the photos is there's no aircon switch here. So this one doesn't have aircon. It just doesn't. Right there in the middle on the dash should be a little turn dial with a blue and white face, and that indicates that there's aircon. This doesn't have aircon. It has these heating switches and the fan, but there's no aircon. So that was the first misleading problem. Now that is a big issue. You can't fit aircons after the fact, or it's a big job. So that really brings down the value. The next thing, we'll go through the car and why I actually want to buy this. The next thing that is a big issue is look at the engine. Now, if you know these, you would immediately spot it, but this is not a 230e. It is just not. This is not what it looks like. And how do I know that? There's a carburetor. Now, the 230e has the Bosch mechanical, the KJ-Tronic mechanical fuel injection. It's a big thing. And also, it's a big thing that sits under the airbox that distributes the fuel, a fuel distributor. Now, this is that Stromberg carburetor. So this is a 200. This is the normal 200 automatic without aircon with a carburetor. It's still a great car. In some ways it's better because that fuel distributor can give some issues, and then it's a whole mission. There's not a lot of people that can work on it. It's not impossible to fix, but the carburetor is arguably easier to get fixed or get someone to work on it. So it could be more reliable. But the mechanical fuel injection is as reliable. They're both awesome, amazingly built cars. But this is the 200. And the problem with that is the 230e has 100 kilowatts. This one has, I think, 83, if I remember correctly, or 82. So it is a lot slower for a heavy car. And with automatic, it's very heavy on fuel. So I actually owned a 200 automatic. That was my first car that I ever owned when I was 18. It was my dad's and then my mom's, and then it was passed down to me. And I drove it over 300,000 kilometers until it had over 300,000 kilometers. And I remember getting between 5 and 6 kilometers per liter, but that was driving like a teenager. So I think you can get much better fuel consumption, but with automatic, it is quite heavy in town. The 200 manual gearbox, that is a nice car. There you can get 9 to 10 kilometers per liter if you're careful on the open road. But this is an amazing car. I actually would love to buy this. Look at the dash. There's only a small little crack there. Usually they have lots of cracks at this age. This one has 300,000 kilometers on the clock. 394, but it still looks in such a great condition. Look at the photos. The body is straight. The paint looks good. The inside, no tears on the seats. The dash is clean. A small little crack there. The wood trim is still there. If you look at this is the first thing I always look at 123 is the oil pressure. Now, when the engine is cold, so at 40, and you start the car, it should pin at 3. Or if the revs goes above 1.5 or 2, it will pin at 3 bar, the oil pressure. This car is almost at operating temperature, which is around 80. So the engine is hot, so the oil pressure will come down. and the revs is quite low. It's just above idle, and the oil pressure is already above 2 bar. I think the limit is 1.5 is what Mercedes said in the handbook, or 1, but 1.5 is still okay, but above 2 is very good. So at 400,000 kilometers at idle with the gauge, the temperature gauge at 80, 2 point something bar is excellent. So I think this engine is healthy. Look at the seats. This MBTEX is still in great condition, front and rear. You can see the driver's seat usually tears around here from the sagging, the springs. So it's got the rubber overlay mats. This car is, the mats there, or the interior carpet is awesome. This car looks in a very good condition, apart from these rust holes here in the engine bay on the wheel arches. Now, if it's got rust there, you can almost be sure there's rust in these drain passages where the bonnet hinges lives and behind the battery. But still, it doesn't look too bad otherwise. That's the rear. The boot still looks good. This car looks in a very good condition, and at 31,000 on auction, damn, I wish you could buy this. But the main thing, the message in this video is watch out for this. The description is wrong. It's not a 230e automatic, not a 230e, it's a 200, and it doesn't have aircon. And I've seen this before where there was an engine swap on a Land Cruiser. It said it was 4.5 EFI, and it was a Lexus V8 in there. And I asked them about it, and they never answered me. And there was another one that also said diesel, 4.2 diesel, and it ended up being a petrol. I could see it on the photos, and I asked them, and they didn't. And it sold that same day. So this one is probably at 31,000. I think this is an awesome car. This car will outlast anything else that you have in your driveway, except if it's a diesel Mercedes from this era. But anyways, so look out for descriptions that's incorrect. Always look at the engine and then go and Google photos of that specific engine and see if it looks the same. And this one that says AC doesn't have AC. So let's look at the condition report quickly. There you can see air conditioning not applicable. So it says in the condition report there's no AC. So I don't know how they put AC on the title. That is just, what do you call it, misleading marketing. Body says poor, probably those rust holes, hang on grills. I don't see anything broken off. Maybe the antenna is broken off. I didn't check. They usually break off or stop working, the automatic antenna. Engine noise levels, axle noise levels, and drivetrain poor. And I think that is because of the wheel bearing, because they said here in the damage, the roadworthy relevant issues. Headlight crack, not an issue. Wheel bearing, rear left loose, excessive play. That's probably the reason why it says poor under drivetrain and axle noise levels. And then front right tire smooth, both independent damage or corrosion. So that's the 2 rust holes you saw there. But nothing cannot be repaired. There you can see big rust holes there, but I would just weld something in there or fiber dust it for a quick fix before you get it sorted out properly. Nothing else that stands out. Damn. Oh, I love these cars. I want this one. Oh. Anyways, thank you for watching, and let me know what you think of these old Mercs, and if you've ever seen misleading titles at We Buy Cars. Check you in the next video.